Good day, folks. Welcome to Andrew's Life. I hope everyone is doing great today. First of all, before I get started, I just want to give a shout out to a fellow YouTuber. His channel name is Jimmy Rants. Just like it sounds, Jimmy Rants. It's a fairly new YouTube channel. I would say a few days ago, he made it to his 1,000+ subscriber count. So his channel is now monetized. And he's been watching my channel for some time. He's been very supportive of my channel, and I appreciate it. And I'm going to take this opportunity to give everybody else a thank you. So for those of you that have been watching me, you've been supporting me. You've been leaving comments in the comment section. For those of you that subscribed, huge thank you. I appreciate it greatly. But again, go check out Jimmy Rant's channel. He's got a wonderful YouTube channel. He does spit a lot of wisdom, in my humble opinion. So go check him out. And one of the reasons why I enjoy watching smaller channels like his channel, well, yeah, my channel's small too, let's just be real, is because, you see, some of us, we miss the old days of YouTube. And I'm pretty sure some of you also miss the old days of YouTube. Because I remember back when I first started watching YouTube a lot, which was, I want to say it was back in maybe 2010, 2011 is when I started watching YouTube a lot. And at that time, YouTube was super refreshing. Like, rather than watching cable TV or regular TV, which was a bunch of brainwash, and if you subscribe to cable, half of the year, all cable played were a bunch of repeats. So I think the first half of the year, the videos were new. And then for the other half of the year, all the shows that were played were repeats. So it was refreshing for me to be introduced to YouTube. Because I had a friend at that time that they introduced me to YouTube. Because before then, I didn't know what the hell it was. So I started watching YouTube. I was able to go on there and listen to music. I was able to listen to people sit down and have conversations, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And I remember back in the day where you were able to say exactly what was on your mind. You didn't have to worry about a bunch of political corrections. You didn't, if every other word that came out your mouth was a cuss word, so be it, whatever. It was understood that at least the majority of the people that were watching that particular creator were a bunch of grown-ups. So if every other word was cussing, whatever. If you wanted to use certain vocabulary that you can't use anymore, whatever. If people didn't like what you had to say, they just clicked off your channel and they went to somebody else's channel. But unfortunately, when YouTube was brought out by Google, slowly, well, I ain't gonna say slowly, but gradually from that point on forward, a lot of things began to change. Now you can't say certain words. Now you have to watch what you say and how you say it. Now you can't do a whole lot of cussing because people will get offended. It's almost like you're making a video for a bunch of children. Hell, if you even make a video to where you tell the cold truth about something, a lot of people will jump your throat over that stuff. So it's almost like, in order to be a successful content creator, you practically have to make videos that are for children. You can't, you gotta worry about hurting someone's feelings. You can't do a whole lot of cussing. You can't say things a certain way. In my humble opinion, it just gotten ridiculous. Now, Granted, you still got some old timers here on YouTube that still have wonderful content. They still keep it authentic, and I appreciate those people. But sadly, you got a bunch of content creators out here that don't keep it authentic, not one bit. Like, for an example, I'm not going to say any names, but I'm going to say it like this. I noticed recently there's been a whole crap ton of AI channels, or what some people would call a faceless channel. Well, I'm going to call them AI channels. There's been a whole crap ton of AI channels where you got content creators that, they use AI for everything. Like, there's a fairly large YouTuber. He's got a YouTube channel his channel name is The World According to Briggs. Go check him out. He's got wonderful content. Like, if you're looking to move somewhere and you're wanting to maybe look into some of the data of the places where you want to reside, I would say that would be a wonderful channel to go check out. In fact, he was one of the first channels to come out to where he talked about data when it came to places to live throughout the United States. I mean, he doesn't just do the United States. Now he'll do all over the world. But before, he mainly put his focus on the United States. But nowadays, you got a lot of AI channels that copied his style. I mean, they doing the exact same thing he's doing, almost. I mean, they try to copy off of his sense of humor. They copied off of the way he formatted his channel. They copied off of that. They copied his sense of humor. At least they tried to. But it got to the point where, for me, if it sounds like AI, I don't even entertain watching that channel, because y'all can call me petty if you want to, but I don't support AI channels. At least I try not to. I prefer to support content creators that have authentic channels. They put the work in to create their channel. Those are the content creators that I prefer to support. All these AI bot channels, I don't mess with them. Like, the second that I find out or I hear that it's AI, I'm clicking off. Now, I will admit, a lot of the AI channels are getting better. And I'm not saying they're getting better in the content. They're getting better in disguising that they're AI channels. But there's several ways that there's a few ways that I can tell that a channel is AI. Like, a lot of times, well, I would say every AI channel is faceless. And then secondly, when you listen to how they pronounce certain words, and you listen to how certain things are said, it's kind of like a recording. It's not an actual human being. It's kind of like a recording. So as soon as I even think a channel is AI, I'm clicking off and I'm not watching anything else that creator puts out, because to me that's cheating. I rather listen to an actual human being with actual feelings, actual emotions, actual life experiences, with actual thoughts, not some AI bot. And another thing that gets on my nerves about YouTube today is you got content creators out here that, you can almost tell that everything that they say is not authentic. It's not coming from their heart. I mean, a lot of what they say, you can almost tell that they got some sponsorship. And lo and behold, you get like maybe 5 minutes or so into the video, they got a sponsorship. And the advertisement for that sponsorship is like a whole freaking 5 minutes. It's like a whole 5-minute advertisement of how this works, how that works, and how you need to buy this and that product. And and a lot of times if a content creator, the second they start with the little sponsorship stuff, if I like the creator, I'll just skip all that crap and I'll just continue to play the video for its actual content. If I think the creator is flaky, I'm clicking off. I can't, so, but yeah, with some of these creators out here today, you can practically tell that none of what they say is authentic. None of what they say they actually mean. You can almost tell that they're reading off of a script. Like some are off of the camera to the side. They got a script that they're reading off of. They're reading a script. And like for me, when I do my videos, I don't read off of those scripts. I don't do no note taking. I don't do nothing. Like these kind of videos, like the video I'm doing right now, I mean, I might organize a couple of thoughts in my head real quick, but then I'm clicking on this camera and I'm going to talk. And however it comes out is how it comes out. Because all that writing this down, writing that down, reading off of the script, I ain't for it. I'm a real content creator. My thoughts are authentic. I say what I say because that's how I feel. I mean, I may not be a big channel, but whatever. It is what it is. I ain't tripping off of that. I mean, I wish I was bigger, but it is what it is. I'm going to still stay 100% authentic. I'm going to still stay being who I am. I'm going to still stay being myself. I'm going to still stay voicing my beliefs, whether the algorithm likes it or not. Because that's what a real content creator does. And I can tell, like I said earlier, I can tell when a content creator is reading off of a script and their thoughts are not authentic. I can tell. Because to me, if what you're saying is authentic and that's really what you think, you don't need to read off of a damn script. You don't need to take a bunch of notes. I mean, self-explanatory to me. Man, these flies out here biting the shit out of me. But anyways. So yeah, I have a huge appreciation and respect for those who keep their channel authentic. Like for those of us who try to cling on to the old school version of YouTube. I got a huge amount of respect for those type of content creators that just come out, they sit down, they say what's on their mind, they don't sugarcoat nothing, they just keep it authentic. And now that I think about it, another thing that gets on my nerves about AI is they might have a video, like if they want, like they might, like a video might come out and they might talk about, I don't know, maybe they might talk about the declining population of Birmingham, Alabama. I'm just using that as an example. Like a lot of times if it's AI, they'll be on some, well, the people of Birmingham are quietly leaving Birmingham, Alabama. They quietly left Birmingham and they've been moving to Atlanta, Georgia. Just an example. So when I hear a bunch of they quietly did this, I mean, there's a certain verbiage that you will only hear from a AI bot type of channel. Because who do you know in real life that talks like, well, they quietly left Birmingham, Alabama. They quietly been leaving Birmingham, Alabama since 1995. Nobody talks like that. That's not real. I mean, that is 100% an AI bot. But yeah, I miss old YouTube. How many of you guys out here miss old YouTube? I know I do. But it is what it is, though. I just wanted to get out here and, I guess, rant about how much I miss old YouTube and how much these AI bot channels be getting on my nerves. And another thing I be getting on my nerves about YouTube today is, when it comes to some of the content creators, is, like I said a second ago, you got a lot of these creators that they'll put out a video solely for the purpose of gaining as many sponsorships as they can. I mean, they'll say a bunch of shit that they don't really mean. They'll they'll encourage, they'll persuade you to purchase a product that they know good and well is garbage. It does not work. In fact, they don't even have that product. And if they do have it, it wasn't because they believed in that product and they purchased it. It was because they probably got that product for free for promotional purposes. And you also got a lot of content creators out here that they act like we're giving you the magic sauce to life. They act like they're the next thing to God. Oh, if you want this and that information, you gotta join their Patreon, or two, they got some course they want to sell you online. And if we're dumb enough to do any of those two things, you find out the expensive way that what they had to offer you really ain't nothing but some trash. The information that they gave you, you could have got 10 times that amount of information by going online and by going on Google and doing your own research. Or for those of you that are old school, going to your local library. But nah, they want you to join their Patreon. They want you to buy their little bullshit ass course. So that's another thing about a lot of YouTubers today that be getting on my nerves. And another thing that I don't like about a lot of YouTubers today is, you got a lot of content creators that will talk about the same thing over and over and over. No creativity, no originality, no original thought. They just be regurgitating what somebody else done said. And I don't care what you talk, I don't care what topic you pick, it's the same shit. Like you got a bunch of people in the manosphere that talk about women bad. You know, I think you guys get the idea. You got a bunch of people that want to talk about how bad it is out here in the economy. Or they want to talk about just something that's, I don't know, that's a bit ridiculous. And every person, they got the same, the thought process is basically the same. No creativity, no originality, no original thought whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same old shit. Like, if you hear one person talk about a specific topic, you probably done heard 10 people talk about the same damn thing. I don't get it. I mean, when did we quit thinking for ourselves? When did we quit exercising critical thinking? And another thing that gets on my nerves about YouTube today is, well, I ain't gonna just say YouTube, but another thing that gets on my nerves about social media today is, well, you got a lot of people that just flat out be giving terrible advice. The advice they give you is so, they just be giving terrible advice. Like, you got some people that they might, you know, I'm gonna give you all an example. Like, there's been a lot of videos coming out recently talking about retirement. Now, when the FIRE movement, when people first started talking about the FIRE movement, it made sense. It had a little bit of logic to it. You know, you bust your ass, you save a shitload of money, and in 10 to 15 years, if you're disciplined, you can retire early and have the rest of your life to yourself. To me, that made sense. But now you got certain people coming out here talking about they're going to retire off of $20,000. Or one day they woke up, you know, life is too short. You know that, you all know you all know what I'm going to say. You know, life is too short. You know, it ain't worth working no more, blah, 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 blah. So next thing you know, you got people talking about they're going to quit their job, they're going to retire, they're going to live in their vehicle, and they're going to go off in the sunset happily ever after. Or, and if anyone were to ask them some real questions about, okay, well, since you're going to retire early, since you most likely don't have the funds to be able to stay retired when real things happen, like you have to go to the hospital, you have to, you know, your vehicle breaks down, and now you gotta make some automobile repairs. What are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna give it to God. I'm gonna give it to God. And I mean no disrespect for those who are religious. I mean no disrespect. I'm just saying. You got a lot of people talking about they're gonna give it to God, but they accept zero responsibility for their own life. They take zero accountability for their poor choices. Again, I'm not with that. And then a lot of these people be crying about how they ain't got no money, how they're broke, and they want you to give them money. They want you to donate money to their Patreon and all that other bullshit. They make videos to where you have to be a member in order to watch. I ain't with all that. My attitude is, well, just the other day, you made a video about how we should quit our jobs. How the man ain't paying us enough. How working for the man is gonna be bad for our health. It's gonna be soul sucking and all that other kind of stuff. But now you broke. Now you ain't got no money. Now you out here busted. Now you want us to give money to your Patreon account and all that type of shit. I don't know, man. I ain't with all that. I ain't with all that. Like for me, I made a lot of videos on this channel crying about my job and complaining and wishing that I can quit and do this and do that. And guess what? There's been a few times during the life of this channel to where I actually did exactly that. And when I felt it was time to go back to work, I went back to work. But guess how many times I had a Patreon account? Zero. Guess how many times I begged anybody for money? Zero. Even back a couple of years ago when my channel was doing a lot better. Guess how many times I asked people for money? Zero. There are people out here watching my content that they even suggested that I set up a Patreon account to where they donate to my account. And guess what I did? I never set up that account because I'm not the kind of content creator that's going to be taking people's money like that. If I need something, I'm going to go out here and get a job and work for that shit. I ain't with all that begging like a little... I ain't with all that begging stuff. I ain't with all that. I'm going to work, I'm going to earn my stuff, and that's my word. I ain't with that begging. I'm a real man. I'm a real content creator. I earn my stuff. I'm just saying. So yeah, that's another thing to be getting on my nerves about some of today's content creators out here. Let's see, what else can I cry? What else can I rant about? Well, I think I pretty much summed up most to all of what I don't like about social media today. Now, don't get me wrong. I still enjoy YouTube. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy making videos. It's just that there's certain people that be murking up the game out here. You know, they be out here begging people for money and shit. They be out here giving bad advice to people. They be out here just straight up lying to people. They be out here making videos where they're reading off of scripts because none of what they say is authentic. Their ideas are not authentic. It's just BS. So that's all I got for you guys. Stay blessed.